The bodies of 77-year-old Von Seal Smith and her two adult sons, Richard Smith, 47, and John Smith, 49, were found dead in their modest rural Pensacola home on July 31, 2015. All three were struck multiple times with a claw hammer and had their throats slit. Richard Smith had also been shot in the head. The family was reclusive. Instead of socializing, Von Seal Smith would spend her days buying products from infomercials, and the murder scene was littered with unopened home shopping boxes. These were people who stayed to themselves. Alvin Myers, the prosecutor who worked the case, told Killer Cases neighbors were shocked and investigators stymied about what may have brought on such a shocking, gruesome, enigmatic triple killing. There were no signs of forced entry, and nothing was taken from the home. Investigators had homed in on a person of interest who had an affinity for Wicca or witchcraft. Morgan said he believed that witchcraft may have been a motivating factor in the crime, noting the positioning of the bodies while they were each in separate rooms, buried under large piles of clothing, and the fact that the killings had been committed only a few days prior to a blue moon, which is the second full moon of a calendar month. Experts in modern pagan religion and its subset, Wicca, denounced the assertion, quick to point out that ritual murder has no place in the nature-based religion. Hartung, a Wiccan, denied involvement in the murders. "I'd never harm my family," Hartung told investigators during a taped police interrogation that airs on Killer Cases. "I mean, why would I do something like that?" According to prosecutor Bridget Jensen, his response felt suspicious. After having just learned that his entire family had been murdered, Hartung neither cried nor seemed surprised. A key witness in the case came forward while Hartung was awaiting trial. Marlin Purifoy, an inmate who spoke with Hartung in jail, told prosecutors that Hartung had confessed to details of his crime, but the crime hadn't been about religion. Purifoy testified it had been about cold, hard cash. Hartung had been cut out of his mother's will, and the only way he would end up with any inheritance was if his siblings died as well. He wanted the money, Purifoy said, adding that Hartung had planned the crime for more than 3 years and had tortured his mother to gain access to a combination safe. Hartung's DNA was all over the murder scene. This wasn't in itself incriminating, since he regularly visited the house and cooked dinner for his family members. But some of the DNA evidence was damning. For example, the DNA suggested that he'd smoked several cigarettes, whose butts had been left atop a pile of bloody rags that had been used to clean up the murder. Seeing the jury that heard Hartung's case was convinced of his culpability, even though investigators never found the murder weapon and produced no witnesses to the crime. They found him guilty on all 3 counts.